Hello everyone, and today what we are going to do is we are going to compare Angular, React, and Vue by building a to-do application. I have previously written a Medium article in which we go through step-by-step process in building this to-do application, but this video will be more into getting into the nitty and gritty stuff, coding the to-do application ourselves. And the first thing that we need to do is installing Angular, Vue, and React. And what we do is normally we use Angular CLI for building Angular, and the steps over here are given over here. So you can go to the through the Medium article as well, and installing React through npm and installing Vue through Vue CLI. So in order to do this, you need to have npm node installed. If you want to install Node, you can go to Node.js and the first link should be okay. So if you're using, I'm using Mac OS over here, so I'll recommend using the recommended for most users, or if you want to get a little bit of adventurous, you can go for the 10.12 current as well. Okay, so after installing Node, you need to install npm, and after installing npm, you need to install the Angular CLI and build a new ng to do app over there and cd into to do app and ng serve. Let's do this first, and let's see the steps that we have gone through. All right. The next step is simple enough. What we need to do is copy this npm install command or and then ng new to do app. So let's just write it down: cd into Angular to do and ng new to do app. That's it. Let's wait for this installation to complete, and after it's complete we are going to go to that directory and serve it. So let's wait for it. Let me pause it for a while. Okay, the installation is complete. We need to go to do app directory in order to run it. Let's ls and cd to do app, and let's run ng serve. Let's wait for it for a while, and it's going to build right now. We can now, I think it's we can now listen to it on http localhost 4200. Let's go to that address in order to see our application, and the application is working right now. We can see uh, how the boilerplate we have of Angular right now. The installation seems to be working for Angular, but right now what I'm thinking is we don't need to write this in our integrated terminal. Instead, I'll have to build separate 3 terminals for each thing, and try running Angular, React, and everything from there. So let's cd into our projects directory and cd into to do apps, and let's cd into apps, and let's add Angular to do. Let's try running this from our terminal instead of our integrated terminal. Let's close this, try running ng serve over here, because it's going to get a bit hectic to write in integrated terminal. It will be harder to manage. Instead, I want a clean integrated terminal and 3 terminals for each thing. So this thing is getting served for Angular. Now we need to do the same thing for React as well as Vue. So in React we need to run the same commands npm init. It's building right now. Need to cd into projects, cd into to do apps, and let's see, cd into to do apps, ls, cd into react to do, and let's run the command npm react app to do app. This will take a bit of time to build the project. Let's wait for this to be complete. It will take a bit of time. Npm start command and executes the ngserve command. So if we cd into to do app, we don't need to use yarn for it. We can use npm and for running one after another command and npm start. It should start working. Let's wait for it to complete. And yeah, React app is working fine right now. Now we need to do the same thing in different terminal for Vue as well. So let's do that. ls cd into our projects, ls cd into our to do apps, cd into to do apps, cd on into our Vue to do directory. Let's write Vue create to do app, and I'll select the default Babel ESLint. I'll use npm. I don't want to use yarn for it. It will be building right now. It might take some time installing its additional dependencies. Stuff like that will take a few moments to install. Okay, so now it's working fine right now. Let's cd into our to do app and npm serve it. npm serve or npm start both can work over here as well. Let's see, it's building again right now. Just in a few moments. Yeah, we can see it on localhost 8080. Let's check if it's working right now, and we should be good to go. Let's go to that address, http localhost 8080, and it's working fine right now. So we have built and tried installing Angular, React and Vue. Let's look into our next part, what we would be doing in our next part. So we will be building this, and the next part will be building this simple application which will have three components, two child components and one parent component and two child components, and input to do and list to do. So input to do and the list to do will show us the list of to do. So let's try working out on this part, and okay, hope to see you in the next part. Good luck.